Hello, please write at the top of your paper English Supplement 2. English, or you could write ENG period, SUPP period, number 2, just like Miss Flores did. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to look at doubling the final consonant. We're going to look at what's called comparative and superlative form. So when you add an ending to a word that has one syllable, ends in one consonant, and has one vowel before the final consonant. So it's easier if we take a look at the example. So let's look at our examples. Some words in which you double the final consonant would be bigger or sadder. Okay, some words in which you do not double: shorter, faster, shortest, fastest. So can you please write down number 1 on your paper? And here we are going to do, Angela wants to be the fastest, and it's right here, fastest. So just write down number 1, fastest. Let's look at number 2. Nathan's backpack is bigger than Armando's. So bigger, we saw up here, has B-I-G-G-E-R. For number 2, B-I-G-G-E-R. Okay. Number 3, yesterday was the hottest day of the year. So how do you think you would do hottest? Hottest, you would come up here and say, here's a little trick I want to show you. If you're not sure, you come up here and you can do this. Let's say we pretend we think it's the 2 T's. The 20 hottest women. So it is the 2 T's. So we just use Google to help us. We know it's the 2 T's. So now we go back. Of course, that's what they put on there, right? Oh, gosh, frustrating. Okay, here we go. Hottest. Michelle is the shortest swimmer. So shortest we can see is up here, so we don't need to look that one up. Monday was hotter than Tuesday. So using our context clues, we doubled the T in hot for number 3, so let's double that T for number 4. Hotter, H-O-T-T-E-R. Okay, and I'm sorry, can you write an E above that? Because that was for activity E. Up above number 1. Now write on your paper F. It says write the adjective form in bold on your paper. Identify each one as positive, comparative, or superlative. So for now, let's just write the words done, and then we'll go back and do that, okay? So we haven't covered positive, comparative, or superlative yet, but do me a favor. For number 1, just go ahead and write the word friendly. F-R-I-E-N-D-L-Y. Number 2, you're writing this under F. Number 2, nicest, N-I-C-E-S-T. Number 3, taller, T-A-L-L-E-R. Number 4, most, M-O-S-T. Successful, most successful, S-U-C-C-E-S-S-F-U-L. And then number 5, more successful, more successful, S-U-C-C-E-S-S-F-U-L. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to give you something that's going to help us identify these as positive, comparative, or superlative. Because you can see up here it talks about it, but it didn't really tell you how to do that. So let's see what we can find here. Going back to our sheet. Positive, comparative, and superlative. Okay, so positive is just in the regular form. Comparative is when you're comparing it to someone else. Faster, longer, shorter, harder, more. Superlative is when you're just saying it's the most. Fastest, longest, hardest, most. So using that, we can go back and look. And first, let's write down all the ones with positive. So let's go back to our paper here. I'm so sorry it takes me a moment to get back. Here we go. Get back to our Okay, so this isn't saying more, and it's not saying most, so number 1 must be positive. That one is saying most, that one's comparing, that one's saying most, that one's comparing. So we only have one that's positive. Now, without looking back, remember comparing, comparative. You can hear comparing, comparative. So let's do those next. Number 2, nicest, nope. Taller, that's comparing. That's comparing one to the other. So that is comparative, number 3. Number 5, that is comparative. So next to number 1, write positive. Next to number 3 and 5, write comparative. And then for 2 and 4, it says the nicest and the most. So they're saying that it's the bestest, which isn't even a word. But anyway, number 2 and number 4 are superlative. So it's going to be number 1, positive, number 2, comparative. I'm sorry, I just wrecked up. Number 1, positive, number 2, superlative, number 3, comparative, number 4, superlative, number 5, comparative. And there actually is a hint. To compare, comparative. To be super, superlative. So super is being the best, and you can see the word super there. So anyway, now you're done. So please get ready to